good and evil. Sometimes the difference between the two is a sharp line.
You watched Daredevil, you can't wait for season 2. And you're eagerly awaiting the debut of Jessica Jones, the second of Netflix's 4 Marvel TV series. But who is Jessica Jones anyway? Jessica Jones, played by Kristen Ritter, isn't the strongest Marvel superheroine, or the toughest, or the most famous, but she might be the one who has canonically said fuck the most times. As a teenager, Jessica developed superpowers after being exposed to radioactive chemicals in a car crash that killed her family. She had a brief and rocky career as the superheroine Jewel, which ended when an incident involving the supervillain Purple Man convinced her she wasn't cut out for the life. Since then, she's been the owner and sole employee of Alias Investigations, a private investigative firm. She might not wear a costume anymore, but Jessica's still super strong, super durable, and she can still fly. Though Jessica first appeared in comics in 2001, she was retroactively inserted into the periphery of the lives of several superheroes and major events of the Marvel Universe. It's unclear how much of Jessica's origin in the comics can be brought to her television show. Will she still have gone to high school with Peter Parker? Narrowly escaped the careening truck that blinded Matt Murdock? Dated Ant-Man? Been mind-controlled into trying to kill the Avengers? Why don't we just start at the beginning? Jessica debuted as the star of Alias, not to be confused with the Jennifer Garner TV show of the same name. Written by Brian Michael Bendis and drawn by Michael Gaydos, Alias was, at its heart, a series of hard-boiled detective stories. The first arc of the series is a classic noir setup. When Alias Investigations is hired by a well-to-do woman to find her missing sister, Jessica uncovers evidence that would not only connect a very famous superhero to some shady dealings, but also expose his secret identity. Then, her client turns up missing, the sister turns up dead, and the police bring Jessica in for questioning. Jessica's been set up, and every step she takes hints at a bigger, nastier picture. Alias was the first series in Marvel Max, a publishing imprint intended to showcase and identify stories in the Marvel Universe that dealt with adult subject matter. For Alias, this meant the freedom to frankly depict sex, sexual abuse, drug use, and profanity, as well as the leeway to trust that its adult audience would embrace a series that was more conversational than it was action-filled. And so Alias was a series about the human side of superheroes, a series in which most of the characters were a bit messy. And Jessica Jones is kind of a hot mess. She has problems with trust and intimacy and often lashes out at anyone trying to get close to her or help her. But she makes up for that with an innate sense of kindness, a bullheaded stubbornness to get at the truth, and an unwillingness to back down from any fight. Also, she's a damn good private eye. In the comics, Jessica eventually marries Luke Cage, who will be introduced in Jessica's Netflix series as played by Mike Colter before his own series gets started. But that's the happy ending. Before Netflix's Jessica Jones gets there, she'll be tangling with the Purple Man. The very disturbed Dr. Zebediah Kilgrave has been confirmed to be the antagonist of Jessica Jones on Netflix, where he'll be played by David Tennant. The Purple Man was originally a Daredevil antagonist with the power to exude a pheromone that compels anyone near him to do, think, or say anything that he tells them to. He uses that ability to do just the worst stuff. The next part of this video comes with a healthy spoiler warning for the Alias comics, though of course we can't say how any of this will play out in the Netflix series. The final arc of Alias sees Jessica wrestling with the psychological abuse she suffered at the hands of the Purple Man, and ultimately confronting and triumphing over him. Early in Jessica's career as the superhero Jewel, she encountered the Purple Man, who enslaved her to his will for 8 months and subjected her to a campaign of sexually charged psychological torture. To Kilgrave, Jessica represented the superhero community who'd always put him down, but ironically, Jessica was so unknown in that superhero community that none of them noticed she'd gone missing, and no one came to rescue her. In a fit of random rage, Kilgrave eventually ordered her to find and kill Daredevil, which led to her flying to Avengers Mansion and nearly killing the Scarlet Witch before she could regain control of her mind. Not recognizing her as one of their own, the Avengers severely injured Jessica before realizing she was a friend. When she recovered from her coma, Jessica hung up her Jewel costume forever. The implication of many stories in Alias is that the heroes of the Marvel Universe may be heroic, but their dedication to the cause, and to a specific wear a flashy costume and live in Avengers Mansion way of embodying that cause, can make them, well, kind of shitty to be around. And at its worst, it can make them dangerous to be around, even when you've got super strength and can fly. It'll be interesting to see whether the Jessica Jones Netflix series will be able to incorporate that theme without bringing in actors from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. But however it shakes out, after 12 movies and 3 television shows, we're excited for Marvel Entertainment to debut their second production with a female lead, one who's fully capable of pulling a fire hydrant out of the street and clocking Dr. Doom in the face with it 3 times.